What is going on, everyone? Luca Rosano here, back with another video. Hope you're all doing well. Today's video sponsor is Dave & Buster's Vaughan. If you're around the Dave & Buster's Vaughan area, go check them out. Go play some great games. Have some good old times at Dave & Buster's, the proud sponsor of the Luca Rosano YouTube channel. Also, be sure to hit a like. It helps the algorithm a ton. And subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this. As things are heating up, the Kevin Durant sweepstakes are heating up as we are getting details by the minute of where Kevin Durant could land. And you look at the Raptors' chances, they keep on getting better. According to the latest odds, and this is courtesy of DraftKings, the Phoenix Suns and the Raptors are betting favorites. The Suns do lead the race. As for the Raptors, they have emerged over the weekend as dark horse candidates. New intel has revealed their optimism on giving the Nets the best package they can for KD. There has also been talks about how Kevin Durant is open to the idea of playing in Toronto. Right now, the odds are as follows. The Phoenix Suns are minus 130. They do have the best odds. The Raptors have the second best odds at plus 250. The Nets at plus 1,000, followed by the Heat, who also have plus 1,000 odds of landing KD. So if Brooklyn isn't interested in a DeAndre Ayton and Mikal Bridges package for the Suns, or a Tyler Hero-based package deal from the Heat, which is really all the Heat can offer, then Toronto's chances of landing Durant would increase drastically. It's unclear exactly what the Raptors would be willing to part with, but Sportsnet's Michael Grange has reported that the organization thinks it can put together the best package of assets the Brooklyn Nets are likely to get. And Toronto's most intriguing offer would certainly include Scottie Barnes, reigning Rookie of the Year and one of the most valuable young players in the league. However, they are reportedly hoping to keep Scottie Barnes out of the deal, and this is according to Michael Grange. And I've expressed many times that I would not want the Raptors to trade away Scottie Barnes for KD. This is what Grange had to say, and I quote, "The Raptors have remained fixed on keeping Rookie of the Year Scottie Barnes out of any package they are offering," close quote. And rightfully so. Scottie Barnes jumped onto the scene. He averaged 15.3 points, 7.5 rebounds, and 1.1 steals per game after being drafted number 4 last year. And his defense impressed many people, while his offensive upside remains high. So if the Raptors don't trade Scottie Barnes, they could still very well be in the mix for KD thanks to the other assets within the organization. That's what makes the Raptors so interesting here, guys. They got so many good assets that would be appealing to a Brooklyn Nets team that is headed for a rebuild. The Raptors have Pascal Siakam. He's a 2020 All-Star coming off another strong season, averaging 22.8 points per game while setting career highs with 8.5 rebounds, 5.3 assists, and 1.3 steals per game. OG Anunoby and Gary Trent Jr. could also be in a package, as these are two young difference makers. Anunoby still 24 years old. He averaged 17.1 points last season, while Trent is even younger at 23 years of age, and he scored 18.3 points per game. And obviously, both of these players are very talented two-way players. And the Raptors, what makes them even more compelling here is the fact that they do have all of their first-round picks going forward, with only a 2024 second-round pick going to the Grizzlies. So they could add up to the 4 first-round picks in a deal with the Nets, plus some pick swaps if needed. And what's very interesting is something that John Hollinger tweeted out about the Otto Porter Jr. deal, which could factor into the Raptors' chances of getting something done for KD. This is what Hollinger had to say on Twitter. This amount is low enough that it would allow the Raptors to go over the luxury tax apron if a trade for an all-time great scorer were to emerge. He's obviously talking about KD, but what are the odds of that? And this is him reacting to Otto Porter Jr.'s deal with the Raptors being worth $12.4 million over 2 years with a player option for the second season. So you look at what the Raptors could put together that doesn't include Scottie Barnes. They have a lot of options to work with. Now, personally, I think if the Raptors don't include Scottie Barnes in a trade package, they would have to give up a Pascal Siakam. It makes sense why the Nets would want to get a guy like Siakam. He's an all-star. He should have been an all-star last season, all-NBA. He's in the prime of his career, playing some of his best basketball. So even if the Raptors were to include a Siakam, you look at what the Raptors would have in a post-KD trade, they would still have the likes of a KD, a Scottie Barnes, a Fred VanVleet, and whoever's left after the trade. So that would still put the Raptors in contention in 2023 and beyond. But if there's some way that Masai is able to get it done without including Siakam or Scottie Barnes, man, just build the statue the next day. And you look at Durant's connection to Toronto. During a 2013 interview on the Dan Patrick Show, Durant, who was in the midst of his 4th consecutive All-Star season with the Thunder, stunned Patrick and many people when he responded to a question about his childhood dream of playing in the NBA. And he said, "Believe it or not, I wanted to play for the Toronto Raptors. That was my favorite team growing up," close quote. He said, "I was a big Vince Carter fan, and I just liked their jerseys, to be honest." So there's obviously a correlation there. KD saying that his favorite team growing up was the Raptors, and this is a guy in Kevin Durant, if he does want to lead a team to a championship and prove to people that he can help lead a team to a championship, this would be the ideal situation for him. Head coached by Nick Nurse, Masai Ujiri in this organization, they know what they're doing. But with everything being said, it might take a whole lot of time until we find out where Kevin Durant is going to go, because Woj was actually on ESPN and said this, and I quote, "So far right now, there is no traction on deals with Irving or Durant," close quote. So it could take weeks, it could take months, and for all we know, when it's all said and done, Kevin Durant could find his way, maybe being stuck on the Nets, because that's the thing that's not really being talked about enough. The Brooklyn Nets don't have to trade Kevin Durant unless they get a deal that wows them. And there is a possibility that Kevin Durant could stay on the Nets. Maybe they mend the relationship over the summer. I mean, we've seen Kobe Bryant do this in the past where he did request for a trade only to mend his relationship and stay on the Lakers. So that is why the Nets do have plus 1,000 odds. But overall, it is going to be a very interesting scenario to see what happens with this Kevin Durant stuff. Is Kevin Durant going to be back on the Nets? Is he going to be traded? And if he is traded, which team is going to snag him? But it's crazy because the Toronto Raptors were set to be a hypothetical in all this. They were set to be a team that would just have an outside shot. But now you look at it on July 4th, the Raptors have one of the best odds. They have one of the best chances of getting Kevin Durant on their team. So who would have thought? Personally, I'm still thinking that KD, if he is traded, would go to the Phoenix Suns, which is why the Suns are the quote-unquote favorite. But if you look at the Raptors, man, and you look at kind of all the boxes that they check, it makes a whole lot of sense. So I'm not going to try to get too excited, but we'll see what happens. Things are getting interesting and things are heating up. And you look at the Raptors and their organization, they are a franchise. Let's call it for what it is. They do not get big name free agents. So when there is a disgruntled superstar that they have a good chance for trading for, they are a team that should be ultra aggressive and get it done and try to capitalize on bringing a superstar that can help them win a championship. Obviously, Masai Ujiri did that when trading for Kawhi Leonard. And now one of these rare opportunities present itself again with KD being on the market. So we'll see how everything plays out. You better believe if any new news drops, I will have it on this channel. So keep it locked and loaded as things are getting interesting. We'll see if the Raptors could very well get this done and land a superstar. What do you see happening? Where do you see Kevin Durant going? Let me know in the comment section down below. Drop a like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we will see how this whole situation plays out. This is Luca Rosano on the mic signing off. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you all again in the next video.